Good morning. Good morning, people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. This is Spirit Journey. And yes, boy, I'm up early. It is, yes, Thursday, October 14, 2021. And the time is now 2:50 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, this is early. I just awakened maybe 15 minutes ago. Yes, about 15 minutes ago. Wow. I went to bed. Yeah, I went to bed fairly early yesterday. I was exhausted. Yeah, it's fall weather now, and it's hard to know how to dress right now because I start to get overheated when I go out. Because it's slightly breezy, but with a little active, walking, I start to feel like I'm frying outside. Yeah. And also, like yesterday, I didn't really sleep. Maybe I had 2 hours of sleep early yesterday morning. When I was awake. And, yeah, I fell asleep finally like around 2 o'clock in the morning. Then my alarm goes up at 4. Yeah, I had a lot of anxiety the day before. Um, I did my morning walk. I was out for I left my place around 7 in the morning. Got home. I think it was 5 o'clock. Yeah, it was gone all day. I think it was at 5 o'clock. Well, I'm not sure what time, but let's see. No, maybe it was two something, 2 or 3 something. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gone for a long time, and had a little. Even though I wasn't hungry, I had a little snack, and then I was falling asleep. Oops, I have to keep my camera up here. Fell asleep, and then I had to try to force myself to wake up. And I was watching a sci-fi movie. Yeah, I saw this video with Denzel Washington. I forget the name of the movie. It's a one-title name. It was done in 1996. Boy, he looked real young. In 1996 sci-fi movie, and it entails virtual reality game. Yeah, I never saw the movie when it came out, and they're in a machine. They were using the inmates. Maybe I should finish watching it because it was just getting too cheesy looking for me. I didn't care. I don't know. It was just getting weird. Weird act. I don't know. Didn't care for it. Um, but maybe I should continue watching it, see the end. But um, they have a virtual reality uh, device. This thing, they implanted something in his body, in his head, at one point. but they have them attached to a machine, and it looked like so they can play different characters. And it got confusing because this one person in the movie was able to take like a component out of it. Like each character had this thing, like it looked like a polygon ball, and I assume that's like the mind of the character. You know what makes the character the character. And they switch characters and put it in the wrong um, box or something, you know, because everything, you know, like a game, like you have the box, you know, like you go looking for movies and you look at the box and you assume the movie is what's on the box, but they switched it and they put somebody else's in there, and they were able to make it into a live creature. You know, so the avatar character, they they animated it to life, but they put the wrong one. Yeah, it was done deliberately, and some murder happened, and they use it using the virtual reality game and entering into the VR game to capture the criminal. I said, oh my goodness, they had this movie out all the way back then. Isn't that like, oh, what's that The Matrix? Isn't The Matrix is pretty much that type of thing? They're also attached. Wow, they're also attached to a machine, a virtual reality game. Yeah, so and when I saw that in movie, I said, I said, wow, the Matrix might have got this off of this movie. Yeah, the Matrix came out in '99. This was '96. So it seems like you have people who are thinking the same type of thing, getting privy to different technologies, awarenesses. Yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And when you see that it's a VR game in the movie, um, then I started thinking. I said, "Oh my goodness," because you know I share with you all um, the things that I see. Right, like many of you know that upon dreaming and you know awakening, I do this meditation, what I call a meditation. Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, upon awakening, many of you know, I do a meditation to continue seeing uh, something like a vision. And in one of those visions that I did, you know, I awaken, but I keep my eyes closed and I just lie there in bed. And I start to see sometimes an image, you know, a still image, or sometimes like a video, something moving. And well, today I did the same thing because I was dreaming this morning. I don't remember the dream really, but I was outside. I had to put something on, and I think it was in the cooking field. Yeah, I used to be in real life in the cooking field. I did many occupations. It was a long sleeve shirt pulled over, and I saw that on the top left of the breast part of the shirt. It had an emblem. I forget what's it, a bumblebee emblem or something, some kind of type of caricature. I said, well, I can't have that on. When I'm working, you can't have any emblem. You have to wear a T-shirt, but it has to be plain. No writings or images on it. That's what I said, and then I think I woke up. Yeah, it was very detailed, but I don't remember the dream itself. But um, the dream ended, and so I came out of that dream. I said, okay, let me just stay still, quiet, keep my eyes closed to see if I could get a vision. And that's what happened. And I was hoping some of you guys be able to help me with it. I'm more and more thinking this is a virtual reality game. This is everything. We are given things to see, each one of us. And it seems like something is always on. There's always a stream on. And I hope you guys can help me. Well, what I saw today's vision, and it ties in all with that movie I was just mentioning about with Denzel Washington. I was watching that movie yesterday. It's a 1996 sci-fi movie with Denzel Washington, and he's part of a virtual reality game to capture a criminal. And I think that's what's happening with us. We're attached to something. I really believe that. Yes, I do. I hope you guys could hear me. Yeah, okay, the volume looks like it's all the way up. Yes, I was, this is the Manhattan skyline. See that? Ooh. Yeah, this is New York skyline out there. So, today's vision that I saw upon awakening from my dream, it was very faint at first. You could see different textures and movement. And I was saying to myself, I hope I can make this clearer. I hope could get clearer. I want to see something. And then it got clearer. It did. And the image mostly came out from my right side of my vision. And I'm speculating that, see, I think with your brain, everything is opposite. So if you see something on your left side, maybe your right side of your brain is working. In this case, my right side of my brain is where the image was. So maybe it's my left side of the brain that's doing the image. So if anybody who's a brain expert, let me know. Yeah, the image or vision that I saw most of the time, and including today, the image is located on the bottom right side of how I'm seeing things. Like if it says, imagine your eyelids are a screen, and I have to see it on the bottom right side. So as the image got clearer and clearer, you could see different dimension, different textures, and eventually you see the full image. What looks like a teenage boy. A teenage boy. Um, the color, it's to make it, I mean, it's like a cartoon like thing, um, but it's made to look real. A lot of detail. Um, I think you call it grayscale in colors. Um, a lot of highlights, contours. Um, it was a what looked like a teenage boy, Caucasian looking, because he had like straightish hair that that was shoulder length, had a lot of body to it. Um, and it was a zoom in on his face, up close, as if like a video camera is on him. Um, but it was a zoom in shot. Um, you saw part of his shoulders. It looked like he was outside in nature. I think there were trees. Um, he it looked like he could have been wearing a shirt and maybe a t-shirt underneath that. Very very colorful. It had a lot of color, movement, a lot of movement. Brunette, and he was like catching his breath, like he's inhaling deeply and then blowing it out. And that's how I noticed his lips. He had very full lips, very nice full lips. And he's like blowing a little bit, catching his breath, inhaling, exhaling. And I'm thinking, this seems like a commercial, like and I thought to myself, like an allergy commercial, like they're selling an allergy product. That's what I said to myself as I'm watching this. I've never seen this before, but that was the impression that I got while I'm watching this. And he's moving. So his face side to side, I guess looking at his background, looking at his environment. And I was thinking, yeah, he's outside. Maybe he was skateboarding or something like that and catching his breath. But it was interesting to draw it like you could take the different types of special effects that you can do with videos. You can paint on top of the image, in regular light, um, to make it look like a painting or different styles of painting. But it was based on a real image, real video of some teen, or teen could have been 15, 16, 17, even 18, a teen. And I just remember that it was all like a flat scale, but the coloring gave it some depth to it because they had the three different tones, light, medium, dark tones, muted colors, nothing, you know, it was nice though. Yeah, his lips were painted and everything, but it was, uh, yeah, I remember he had very full lips, very nice mouth, shoulder length hair, out, worn loosely out. That's all that I saw. And so I'm wondering, you guys, any of you who see a lot of commercials, have any of you ever seen anything like that? An advertisement with a like a teen outside or something, and it showed a link there. And I gotta find out where these images are coming from because I believe these that it exists somewhere. These things that I'm seeing exist, and I don't know whether like I live in a big city, and there's always waves, television waves, things, programs on at all times. They may not show them all at once, but they're on, and they can decide which one you want to see, which one to see. It's okay. We see this stream. We're going to broadcast this stream. So I believe these are broadcasts that's out in the ether, and some of us can capture it. Yes, these are broadcasts. I did have my device on, lying not too far from me on the bed. It wasn't playing, but it's on. Okay, so that could enhance, interfere with what you dream and everything like that. Um, your brain is a receptor. It's always receiving it, you know, depending upon what you focus on, it's on. These frequencies that because the ether is free. Anything could go into the ether. Multiple streams, multiple streams are going on, uh, but you can only see one at a time, and so maybe you might see multiple ones, one after the other. Little bits and pieces of this one, and then another stream gets dominant, and you see that stream, and so on and so on. That's what I believe what's going on. So I'm hoping that those of you who see this live stream will be able to, tell me what it is. So, you know, yeah, if you can assist me, please tell me if you see anything like this advertisement. And I put that out there into the universe. I want to find out what that stream was of that kid outside, and it looked like that type of drawing, painting upon a video. You could make something look like a cartoonish type of thing. These special effects that video editing could do now. Yes, very sophisticated. Very sophisticated. So yeah, anybody have an idea? Um, Let me know. Yeah, it was just an impression that I got as I'm watching it, that this is part of a commercial, I think an allergy commercial. That's what I'm thinking. Wow. So what about this reality? Again, that movie with Denzel Washington. Those of you who know the movie I'm talking about with Denzel Washington that came out in 1996. It has Russell Crowe in the movie. He played the antagonist in the movie, and they are attached. Because now they're going to use Denzel Washington to get the bad guy who's killing people. and I think he was framed for murder or something. His family, his wife and kid dies in the movie. Yeah, the movie, I got kind of turned off with the movie with Denzel Washington because it was so dated, the movie, and it's using different triggers to trigger certain audiences. So this is Denzel Washington, a black actor, and he's playing a scene that he's in prison, and he comes in the with the other jailers, um, and then they have a white guy, and he does a Hitler salute. I said, oh, come on, this crap. Yeah, they're trying to trigger, the racist white man, and he's doing his white power salute, his Hitler salute. They're trying to get you, in that white and black mentality of white against black. Yeah, they did that a lot in the 1990s. They do that, and they're doing it now. See, now that I'm older, I see it for what it is. I see it. Don't fall for it, please, people. And sometimes I used to get so worked up. They want you worked up. They want you to do just what you're doing. Yeah. But imagine in real life, people, you're in jail because you committed a crime of some type. And I understand in prison, I should say, not, I said jail, but I meant to say prison. Um, People are divided up according to their ethnicity. You have the black gangs, white gangs, Hispanic gangs, and even Asian gangs. Could you imagine? You're all thrown in jail or in prison because you commit a crime. And now you're going to discriminate and fight each other based on race. You're all in the same boat. You're all in there. In prison. You are all prisons. And in prison, you have virtually no rights, so you are like a slave. People, wake up, wake up. You're foolish. You are in prison and you're getting all this drama, but you all have the same fate. You all have the same fate. So you're going to do a white power salute or black power salute or Asian or Hispanic power salute and hate the other person because of their race or ethnicity or nationality. You are all prisoners. You're foolish. Shouldn't you be protesting against the people who threw you in there? Hello, people. And you're getting all this drama. Getting angry with what did that person do to you? What did they do to you? You're creating it for yourself. You are creating that reality. Or I should say that it's a program. It is a program. You're even being programmed in prison to say, oh, I'm not going to like that. Oh, I'm going to only talk to so and so. Yeah, I was told that you're forced to choose groups. This is ridiculous. You're in prison, and now you're going to say, oh, you're all in there. So it reminds me that all this is part of the program. Just like I live in New York City, and pretty much people hang out with people of similar backgrounds and could get, last year, all this fighting. So it reminds me again, this is a prison too. There's a prison within a prison. Because look what happened. People were getting into different fightings based on what you look like. This against that. This is part of the program. They are doing it. They are I used to even be at jobs that was stratified like how you see in those movies in prison. What if in your before you got into prison, what type of work did you live in? Did it some of us work with different people? Well, New York City, okay. Private sector was mostly white when I worked in the private sector. It was overwhelmingly all white. But when you work for the city, it's overwhelmingly black, and then you had other ethnic groups. You had some back then. You didn't really have as many Hispanics like you have now. I remember meeting an Egyptian fellow. There were a few whites. The whites were usually in supervisory, managerial positions. But yes, they also had blacks in supervisory, managerial position as well, but not as much. But you did have it. Yeah, I used to work for the city. My very, very, very first job was working for the city, and people were in their groups. And the department I worked in was mostly, I would say half and half. Yeah, the first department that I was in, about half and half. It was black and white, half black, half white. And then they put me in a new department. Uh, all the lawyers they switched me to the legal. All the lawyers and the supervisor were Jews, and then all the helpers were black. Oh wait, they had so um, the helpers that stayed in that section were all black, but then you had two or three other whites, the Jewish students. They were going for their work towards their law degree, and they usually were out, not the. Come back on. Sorry about that. They didn't like when I said the J word or something. I don't know. But I'm just describing who worked there. But so I see that there is a life of that they are creating divisions. The system has a built-in division maker. It divides people according to race, religion, nationality, maybe even gender. Oh, I have to sit up. And then we stop fighting each other. I'm just saying, hey, stop the fighting because you're all prisoners. And you don't see it. And it just seems to pop out of nowhere, this division. you against me, us against them mentality. But in actuality, you are all in the same boat and pretty much the same fate. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Do you understand what I'm getting at? Do you understand what I'm getting at? So in this Denzel Washington movie, didn't these guys all see, and he did it for like entertainment. They just used Denzel Washington in the virtual reality game. They finished using him in the assignment, so he has to go back in his cell, and then they present this white dude that was to fight him. He comes out on stage, in the hallway, where all the prisoners are jeering on to want to see a fight, a black and white fight. It's so, it's so outdated. It's so phony. It was so phony. I said, I gotta turn this shit off. So don't fall for it, people. And look at now with the politics now. Now they're using, get this, now they're using, do you have the jab jab or not? Us against them. See that? That is the program. And they use that program because it generates a lot of energy. They're feeding off of our energy. They feed off of this, whoever who's behind it. There's someone that's behind all this. Because, see, if everything, is copacetic, there's no energy being generated. It's very slow. It's like a horse. The horse could kind of just walk slow, and then when you wanted to pick up speed, what do you do to that horse? That's what's happening. So you generate more energy. Remember, like the movie The Matrix, the first one, the first movie, The Matrix. Do any of you understand what I'm getting at? If you understand what I'm getting at, please press a 1 that you understand the concept that I'm mentioning about what's happening. They are creating drama. They are, and it's built in. We all are so programmed to this dichotomy, us and them dichotomy, and it's designed to cause fighting. And right now, for a little over a year and a half now, they've been using this pandemic to influence us to fight. It's really awful. I hate it. I hate it because we're enclosed in something, people. We are enclosed in a system. It's like a fishbowl within a fishbowl within a fishbowl. We don't get out. And each level is really the same. How do I get out of the fishbowl, people? Start asking yourself, how do I get out? Is there an exit? Is there an exit to this madness? So, as I mentioned earlier, the vision that I had today, what looked like a teenage kid, like 15, 16, 17-year old, and like the drawing, like a, it's cartoonized video. And the style of drawing, I know I've seen that style of drawing, how, the special effects. It's kind of slow motion, you see the movement of the hair. It was really interesting. We're always attached to something. And so, with this 3D movie vision that I saw, yeah, my visions aren't, because I now get up at a different time now. You know, I don't stay in bed as long. Upon waking up, I leave early. So too, oh, I have to get I'm gonna plug it in, so it might be low on energy. Let me see if I can get plug it in. Excuse me, thought. Oh, brother, I don't know where my cord is. Oh, it's not in here. It's not in the room. I don't know where I put it. Yeah, it's my little doggy. It's not in this room. If I see the message pop up, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it must be in the other room. Okay, if I see a message pop up, because I had it on all night. It was on, but it wasn't playing. Okay, so the other visions that I have. Oh, okay. Like one of the other visions that I had in the past that I thought was revealing. Um, yeah, I think this is really essential. I think there's a way, people, at least for us to see what's going on behind the scene. Um, and I'm hoping that this is what's happening. Okay, sometimes in this state, oh, let me sit back. Sometimes when I do my morning vision thing, when I'm dreaming, and relax, keep my eyelids shut, I get at a what I call a bridge, a junction, and in that junction, it's like sneaking behind the curtain. Remember in the movie The Wizard of Oz? Those of you who know the movie The Wizard of Oz, what happened with Dorothy and the rest of the gang? She had a little dog, and the dog went to the so-called god and see that there's a curtain. He pulls open the curtain, the dog, and you see the man animated machine, and the guy even tries to cover it up. What's actually happening? She says, "No, no." She says, She says, "You're a bad man." Yeah, go see the movie, The Wizard of Oz. Yeah, I believe what's happening at times in my vision, my morning vision, when I have to be specific, but it's my early morning vision when I awaken from dreaming or sleeping. And when I do that exercise of keeping my eyes closed and just uh, focusing forward, looking forward, you know, even with my closed eyes, and as if your eyelids are the new screen, you focus on that straight ahead and you see something. And it comes quickly, usually, the image. I saw, I was in looked like a laboratory. Yes, people, it looked like a laboratory. You saw a long device. It was a long cylinder, white cylinder device, and on the end, towards me on the bottom, looked like a, oh, I don't remember, like like something. I think it was something pointed. I forget, but it looked like something that energy would come out from. That was my impression, that electricity or something shoots out of it. My impression, because of what it looked like, a metal thing, that some type of energy comes out from it, and it was aiming at me because I had so-called awakened. I don't physically see myself, but I'm looking upward, and I see the device and then the thing on the base, and up on top was this man. It was a white guy. He's wearing a lab coat. Yeah, a white guy, European looking. Um, could have been in his 50s, 60s. You know, he seemed healthy. Um, his hair was cut, uh, tapered on the side. It was cut short, tapered on the sides, longer on the top, but maybe like an inch and a half on top. You know, full set of hair. I think it was salt and pepper, and he was laughing. He was holding the device in his hand, you know, aiming it towards my direction. He was laughing. I remember, clean shave. He didn't have any facial hair, if I remember right. Clean lab coat. Yeah, I saw that. And sometimes, in earlier visions, I saw what looked like, again, I was in, it seemed like I was in some room, or was, yeah, and there were these beings in the room. Okay, this was very faint though. I mean, the guy in the lab coat, that was, looked real, very, very clear. It was in color, but this other thing was very faint. Um, it's as if like my eyes are open now, you know, I'm seeing this vision, and there were beings around me, and I had awakened, and I wasn't supposed to see what I am seeing. These beings had multiple limbs, and some of them had like a spidery looking, like they were able to, like they were standing. They and their limbs were trying to do something to my face. My impression was whatever they're doing towards where my eyes were was so that I don't see. It was to do something. They did something to lull me back to sleep or something. Sometimes, yes, something that they looked like they were insect-looking type of thing, tall. I mean, uh, as if they were standing upright, but they had a lot of limbs. So some of them reminded me. Sometimes they look something like ants, and then sometimes it looked like something else, but it was a light. Yeah, the ants were black in color, and then this other thing was a light color, almost feathery looking, multiple limbs. Again, it's hard to see. It wasn't clear. Yeah, the things with the insects, it's never that clear, but I get the impression that I'm in something. That is what the impression I always get, that I am within something, or on something, and it awakened, and they were trying to get me back to sleep. And it reminds me so much of the Matrix, that you're in something. And sometimes there's a glitch, and you wake up, and oh, we got to get you back to sleep. I don't know whether there are multiple things going on. Like, let me explain. We, are, we have a consciousness. And during the sleep state, you, you know, I think other things could tap onto our frequency. Yeah, once you sleep, you're pretty much game, and other things could be tapping onto your energy, your consciousness for whatever reason, and I think that's what's going on. I think that's what's going on. It's amazing. It is amazing. Wow. What is reality? What is this game that we call reality? We're living in this one, and it's a drama, and it seems real. You even have people, I saw a part of a video yesterday. It was an audio video. The Game of Life and How to Play It. I've heard of that name. It was a woman that did that wrote the book. The book came out in 1925, and the person was reading captions of the book. They were to read sections 1 through 10, and they read chapter 1. I watched until chapter 1. Pretty much it was a metaphysical, about metaphysics, that your thoughts create your reality. Like be careful what you say. Be careful what the words you use. And it's very some of us are very cliche-ish, but you're speaking words of doubt. I've done it. I'm like everybody else. And like for example, oh, I'll never get that guy. Oh, he wouldn't like. And so you create that reality. They said something like your subconscious mind plays it out for you. You have different programs. You have the one, the main one that you're mostly conscious of, you like when you're awake and everything, doing your chores, and then you have the things running behind the scenes, and that this subconscious mind will act out what you told it. Oh, you'll never get that so and so. So it's okay. I won't get that. So metaphysics. And a woman wrote that book. Things were hard for women in the 1920s. Women didn't even have the right to vote, I think, at that time. I forget. I'm not sure what time. Yeah, any of you know when women in the United States had the right to vote? Let me know. So it's trying to tell you. So when I was listening to that tape, I said, "Where this is all computer. This life." Because remember, like the lady was saying, be careful what you say. what you verbalize because you'll get it or won't get it based on what you say. So a mind is like a computer. There are different programs going on at once. It's multiple layered. And when we sleep, we go to different dimensions. And you know what else? What is really interesting about this dream world? Sigmund Freud, he's considered the father of psychoanalysis. And so when you major in psychology or even in medicine, want to go into medicine, you have to learn about that guy. He was a Jewish man from Germany, from an affluent family, Jewish family in Germany. And his science dominates medicine, the medical field today. That one man, even though he was a user of cocaine, and he came up with theories, and we hold it up like a Bible. Anything he says is true, right? He dominates. And it's really weird that certain nations still today dominate medicine, science. Those same nations are dominating medicine today and are dominating even this pandemic. Look at the different researchers that are out there. It's like they're just there, dominating certain medicines. Anyway, isn't there anybody else? You have, all type of scientists around. You have India. India is a very, very big country. Over 1 billion people. They use India for the machinery, the technology. What do you call it, like these devices that we call it IT people, IT. But like medical stuff, they don't seem to be able to get them from there for whatever reason. You got over 1 billion people. They do use it for the IT technology, but not like medical science. They seem to get the scientists from these nations. And they do these weird experiments upon people. It's always the same thing. I can't get it's tiring. Because see, the art of haywire. It's as if the field was infiltrated. I believe whatever game, if this is a virtual reality game, we got hijacked. We got hijacked, and people are exploiting us while we're in the machine. Just like in the movie with Denzel Washington was in 1996. That they were using the virtual reality game to oh, I remember they got the machine to practice. The police needed to practice getting the bad guy. So you put them in a virtual reality game, and they can practice their, uh, policing. 'Cause, 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 'cause but sometimes it gets too real, and that you can die in a VR game. I think that's what's happening. That this is a virtual reality and assimilation. Don't you ever wonder also with life, you have people that everything seems to fall into place. Yeah, I did I went out yesterday, and I'm not sure if I'll upload it, but I was talking about this video that I saw yesterday. Um, one of my favorite YouTubers, um, he has his doctorate in chiropractor, um, but he mostly got into, his YouTube is about wellness. So he talked about, you know, s- eating the right foods, and he has these supplements, and he does this. He has like a little retreat in Hawaii. He does like like the sauna thing. That's how I learned about him. Couple of years ago. His thing on, going to sauna and cleaning your body with that. And then I rediscovered him last year during this pandemic. And basically, his a lot of his videos last year, it's him walking on his property in Hawaii. And I was captivated because I used to live in Hawaii also, and I kind of missed it. And it was just him talking. And I like things with talking. And that's why I do a lot of talking. I like to do what I like. I like hearing conversation. So I like my videos now, um, in a conversational style. For those of you who just want easy listening, for thoughts, ideas. So I watch him. And yesterday, his talk, well, now he's in the US mainland. He's in California, and he's visiting his father. The guy's around, he just turned 60 years old, and it's his father's place. And he has a daughter too, turns out. Well, he's visiting his father's home, and the father lives in a mega mansion. It's a modern day castle in California, Spanish style castle. Really, 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 really ritzy. It looks like a resort, a high end resort. And he was saying to the people, to his viewers, that uh, those Hollywood studios rent out his father's castle to use as a movie prop. Yeah, it's made out of stone and plaster. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, mega mansion, mega. He has a garage. I get his garage looks like a those underground garages when you go to like a shopping mall. It's big like that, of multiple cars, maybe a fleet of 20 cars, high end cars. But why I'm mentioning this? Okay, what I find interesting. Um, he has, let's see, he was talking about, what was that he was talking about now? What was it about reality? He calls it rethinking your reality, and that we have to utilize both sides of our brain. And like if you're right-handed, you are left brain dominated. If you're left hand dominant, then you're right brain dominant. And how you have to learn how to use both to really strengthen your ability. And then this was my beef. And I love his videos. And I'll continue watching. But again, with me, I have my programs on too. Like I can enjoy something on the surface level, but then I have that other program that's analyzing, and it's very critical. And so he was encouraging us the importance of being balanced at learning to use both halves of your hemisphere in your brain. And I agree with that, yes. And he was saying that he's born with the ability using both halves. And he was demonstrating he was in a room and it had a grand piano, a Steinway, a giant piano. And it was a Steinway. He made sure he gave the name. He said, for those of you who know Steinway, yeah, anyone who's any, a Steinway is the top of the line, handcrafted piano. It's the best of the best. And he could play it. And he did demonstrate. He said, oh, you should learn to use both hands. And he's sitting by this piano. So I'm thinking, okay, go and play it. And he does. And I said, wow. So what was interesting about that is that, see, he's in this fantastic background in a luxury home. It's owned by his father. He said it took 8 years to build. He got 20 guys. Well, his father had employed 20 men from Italy. Italy, they do the mason work. Just like, when you go to Italy, you have all those, the Colosseum, everything's made out of stone. We have people today in Italy who know how to do stonework. So he employed them, brought them here to do the stone work. It is exquisite. How it's furnished is exquisite. Oh, wow. Um, he could be a billionaire. I'm not, it'd be interesting. I should ask someone question, oh, he's a billionaire. Yeah, all the cars were handmade. He has a brother who made the cars by scratch, he said. He builds cars. And these cars are fast cars. And it's all parked there in the basement level of the building. I mean, it's massive, massive. Yeah, massive fleet. I mean, men in their cars. It seems like men love cars. I don't love cars. I mean, I'm not a lover of cars. I just see cars as a tool to get from A to Z. That's all. For me, with the car, it's a headache because you have to get it insured, you have to get it repaired, and I don't know how to repair cars. I was eager, I used to have a car, my own car. Um, it was a headache, and when you live in certain countries or locations, they exploit you if you're a female, and that happened to me. That happened to me big time because you're a female, the men don't want to repair your car. They're angry at you because you are a woman and you have a car. Could you believe that? You call yourself a mechanic? Oh, that's my timer. I have my timer on. I don't know where it is. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Oops. I hope I didn't mess anything up here. Sorry about that. I was sitting on it. Yeah, it's now 4 o'clock in the morning, New York time. Yeah, so oh yeah, so um, yeah, so I don't want the headache of a car. I had it for a couple of years, and then I moved, and I had someone take the car. Yeah, I paid cash for it. It's 1,500 bucks for the car. Oh, a lot of headaches. But imagine you call yourself a professional, and you're oh, it's acting up again. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm back on. Yeah, so you have people like that who are in the matrix with me, and they're so insecure that when someone brings in the car to get it repaired, they make judgment, and they're saying, "We don't think you should have a car." Could you believe it, people? And they want to hurt you, or they just don't do the service and just take your money. See, we don't have professionals anymore. See, it's also a reminder that we're in prison. Just like the Denzel Washington movie, they were all in prison. And rather than coming together to try to get out, they were fighting each other based on race, nationality, etc. So back with this YouTuber that I watch, whose father may be a billionaire or something like that. He was a doctor, and his place is in Southern California, somewhere. And he's been visiting his father now for, he said, 2.5 weeks now. And he has a daughter. Um, yeah, when he was filming, his daughter had drove up, and he said, "Oh, I have to go now. Oh, my daughter, I'll come back on." And then he came back on. Um, so yeah, he demonstrated on the grand piano that he has the ability to utilize both hemispheres. So it was interesting that he was able to do that. I mean, there's plenty of I mean, what do you call it, musicians out there. Um, but what programming me was on as I'm watching. See, part of my criticism. Now I love watching his videos, and I would still watch it. Um, about credibility. Okay, you can come up with a lot of stuff. See, we have to learn also to be critical thinkers, and he says the same thing: become a critical thinker. Now, sometimes what people do, they are they're in a beautiful surrounding, expensive property, and they're saying what they're saying, and then you feel okay, that person is has validity because they're in an expensive environment. They're living, they might be in an expensive home, or standing next to an expensive car, and it's seducing you. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, basically it's saying, believe me, I have wealth, I have money. Believe anything I say, because, you know, let it speak for itself. Let your word speak for itself. You don't have to convince people with what you're saying. It's either true or not true. And I felt that he was, we had to believe him because he's in a place that very few people have access to. This was a mansion, a modern day, as they call it, a modern day castle. And yes, I think it's a good wisdom that yes, learn how to use both hemispheres of your brain. Yes, I probably you know um, certain enhancements in life, but it doesn't guarantee a damn thing. So that's also what I'm learning, that if they want me to believe that if I learn both hemispheres of my brain, that my life would be perfect, that my life would be, I mean, um, I don't want to poo-poo it all the way, but it's not a formula. It's like saying, "Oh, people." See, this was one thing that was introduced to me years ago. Oh, the problem with you is you don't have a college degree. See, if you learn how to read and write, and you go to college and be something, it's baloney. That it's not a one formula. Yes, some things could enhance. Yes, the way you think can influence many outcomes. Yes, people who are positive thinkers, people who take risks. Yes, it all has its value. But then you get tricked. You get that college degree. Oh, sorry, market fell. And I feel like with my life, I feel like at times that someone is like watching over me and influencing the outcomes in my life. Have any of you ever experienced something like that? You out there. Yes, you. Have you ever experienced that? Like you felt that you, you the actions you were doing was being influenced? That like you're doing something and something interrupts? That you think you got it and then boom, something happens? I told you all about the thing that happened to me at the restaurant. That as I'm talking to this person in the restaurant, like something tapped into my energy. It sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, crazy, crazy. It's like something tapped into my energy field. I had gone in a little stupor for a couple of seconds, and then I heard this a woman's voice, very faint, and the audio seemed to come out in the very center of my brain. And the person said, I am tired of hearing you talk about, and that's all I remember. It was very faint, angry voice, woman's voice, American accent. And then it stopped. This all took, like the whole time this episode happened was maybe 15 seconds. 15 seconds. So it was quick. And then immediately after that, my heart started racing uncontrollably. Yes, I believe with that, like you have what they call TIs, targeted individuals. And even when you go on the internet and see things on science and stuff like that, there were experiments done on people. And to influence the way they think. What do you call it? The MK Ultra thing. That was to influenced their thinking, but it wasn't a TI per se. But I have met up, seen videos on the targeted individuals. And you have people who go about their lives. Some people are followed, physically followed by people. Uh, they might pay their neighbors to watch them. They go over to a neighborhood where the person lives. Um, Say, hey, follow this person. I give you money if you follow this person or you do this and that. You also have satellite, I believe, satellite information. And when they get we all have a frequency. Think of it like a thumbprint. You only have your one thumbprint. Even if you're identical twin, you have different pattern thumbprints. And once they get that thumbprint, so to speak, or that brain wave frequency, they can track you and follow you. And they could alter your reality. They can tap into what you're doing. They can, I would imagine, okay, because at the time in the restaurant, I was talking to an individual. And it was just two other couples. They were there when we came in. Um, they could have been around our age or maybe a little older. Yeah, they could have been a little older. And that was it in the restaurant. We got in there around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we left, I think, at 6 o'clock sharp. But this thing happened. This thing happened. And you know what else? This type of energy connection. Have any of you ever talked to a psychic? Some people, I talked, what do you call it? Yeah, one was what do you call a medium psychic, and this other, yeah, I think both of them were of that type. They had different approaches and sciences. One was for like a medical intuitive, and the other one was just a regular psychic medium, whatever. And I utilized them once each. And the next morning, my body felt funny, like weird feeling in my body, like an energy thing. Um, and I called the person up. I said, "Hey, I felt funny this morning, and my electronic equipment is not working right." And he said, "Oh, sometimes when we do that something like this can happen because you're dealing with the energy." Yeah, it almost makes you feel like your anxiety in your body, a weird feeling, I guess like anxiety. So it shows me that when something energetically attaches itself or connects with you, your body feels it. Your body. Do you understand what I'm saying out there, viewer? Yes. Please, please let me know that you understand what I'm saying. You can press a one for yes. Please give me your feedback. So, this is what I feel. Yeah, you have different realities. So, um, I learned that incident at the restaurant happened May May of 2018. Yes, 2018, May of 2018. And it was just a private conversation. It was very lighthearted. We were having a good time. I was having a good time. It was first time that I was physically at that restaurant. I made many mentions of this incident in my videos. But yes, you have technologies people, and they could somehow, I don't know why I was being followed. I'm a very small channel, and it was just by chance I went out that day. I was in the shower at the time, and someone called me while I was in the shower. And so I had to return the call. Once I got out of that shower, that person was already on their way over to my place. So it was really interesting. How did they know I was home? I could have been out with my gang, with my dogs. So part of me is feeling that this was all by design. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Not that the person may not have consciously, may not have been told, okay, go call so and so, and even if she doesn't answer, go over anyway because we're going to do something. It was essential that they came over because I don't think that it would have happened. The incident would not have happened if I didn't go outside. And it was just at random the conversation. I hadn't seen the person in a while. And I would just say, tell them what I'm doing, what I'm, I was introduced to this new genre called Secret Space Program, targeted individuals, and yeah, the last thing I was talking about was about O negative blood. And that's what upset them, because I was talking about O negative blood and that blood type is used in these programs. I do not have that blood type by chance. I do not have that. And that person didn't like me saying that. And so they um, zapped me. So why were they even listening to the conversation? And for that long? Because I was just talking about the genre, the new genre that I learned about. But it was specifically about that, about my knowing people who are O negative. And that's all I said. And I get zapped. They have the technology to make your heart irregular. It was pumping real fast, like you about to have a heart attack. And I got scared. I didn't tell the person about what I heard audibly, but just that my heart was racing right after. And they said, "Oh wow, while when you said that, um, I felt like a wave go through my head. It got me dizzy." So that reinforced in me that it was something going on that um, someone. I mean, um, so I really can't figure it out. Because it was just a very small place, just two other couples that were already in there, um, and then we're inside the building. There were no windows behind me or anything like that. It's all enclosed. We're in the back room. So it had to be a satellite or something. Why would they even follow? I mean, we were walking for a while outside. Something happened. Was this restaurant being monitored? Okay, this was in near Times Square in New York City, and it was just at random that I went to that restaurant. At least for me, I didn't plan on going there. We had stepped into different restaurants, checking them out, um, trying to find that, something that's economical, whatever. And it was one of several that we went to, that day. And it was just because we're getting tired, hey, let's just get something to eat, we'll go here. And we're there for 2 hours. Why were they listening for 2 hours? What were they listening for? So that's why I feel that this individual was being used for something. And I did um, approach that individual, say, hey, I think you were behind it. Yes, I did. So what do you know about it? I said, look, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I think you were behind this. What happened there? What was this all about? Yeah, and I don't know who the person's voice was, the voice that I heard audibly. I don't know. I don't know the voice. It's a woman's voice. Sounded like it had a young person. Not too young. Um, but they were pissed at me. We were both talking. We were both talking. Um, very, very bizarre. They were looking for information, and I believe they used that person to get data personally. A spy type of thing. It sounds all. The person had that type of mindset, I think. So, what is it all about, people? You think if I use both hemispheres that my life will turn around? It could enhance certain abilities. Yes, I do. I do believe that. Could going to college and graduate, it could add enhancement to my life? It could. But if you're in a prison, does it really make a difference? Does it really, really make a difference? That is the point. If you're a prisoner, does it really matter at all? Because in the end, you come out the same. They could give you a sense of freedom. They could allow you to go outside the courtyard when you're in prison. And there's people still fighting even in the courtyard. We're in a prison, people. Yes, hello, viewer, you come back on. Yeah, we still, this is a prison. And um, we can learn all the different things, try to enhance our life. We can learn different languages. Yeah, I would like to learn different language. The excitement with, I have some excitement about that. Learning different languages, be able to communicate with other people, different languages. Yeah. I saw the movie, oh, what's that? It starts with an I. Oh, what's the name? Oh, no, L. Limitless. Limitless. That's one of my favorite movies. I love the movie Limitless. And at the very, very end of the movie, he's speaking to this Asian man in a restaurant. And he was able to order his food. And I was fascinated. And when I saw that in January of last year. And that's when I wanted to learn a foreign language. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of things were developing for me last year. Yeah, I wanted to learn the foreign language, uh, bodybuilding, body sculpting, and an instrument. All within January and March of last year. and then this pandemic happened. Yeah, last year, early last year, I wanted it to be in total engagement with my senses. You know, I know I was greatly disappointed last year. We all were with this pandemic. Yeah, this is all part of an experiment. Yes, this whole pandemic, we've been taped into. They're taping it. They tap not taping, tapping on to different aspects of this reality. And the game, this virtual reality game, is getting too many members, and they want to trim the fat. Yeah, I had a lot of hopes for last year, a lot of hopes for me, and I was trying to encourage myself again. That's what I'm trying to do. Yes, I've been going on in nature. I bought a lounge chair. What do you call those beach chairs? So I can sit outside in the garden with my dogs, get some fresh air. Yeah, just try to encourage myself and lighten my thinking. Yes, very much so. Yeah, I want to tap into my abilities. Yes, I do. Tap into creativity. Like even though this is a prison planet, I do want to make it create my beautiful world. I don't want them to break my spirit because this is my life. No matter whether free or slave, baby, do you, boo. Yeah, do you. Do you. Be you. Early last year I felt a sense of freedom. I said a sense of exploration of my abilities. I want. Sorry about that. Yes, sorry about that. The frequency. Yes. So what I got cut off. So I bought the guitar January 3rd of last year, 2020. I started the lessons, the music lessons in February. And March, I was to do the bodybuilding. And I was also contemplating taking a language, of learning a foreign language. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Who knows? Technically, I could still do that. I could teach myself the guitar. I can do body sculpting at home in my apartment. I can learn the language at home. I could do all that here. It's just really psyching yourself up. Yes, do you, boo. Do you. And whoever who's out there interrupting your parade, shame on you. See, you're bored and you're tapping into my life and trying to sabotage me and others. You don't need to do that, my friend. You can just do you, boo. Do you. Create the you. If you didn't like me talking about O negative blood, well, what blood do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Why don't you share what interests you rather than you listening to me and zapping me because you don't like what I'm talking about? Rather than harming others, why don't you share? Why don't you share what interests you? Why don't you share you learning maybe playing an instrument or drawing or bodybuilding? You share with others. See, it takes boldness to do what I'm doing, to come out there and do videos and share my heart, share my interests, share my concerns. It takes courage to do this. When I first started out on YouTube, I could hardly speak. I could hardly speak. Now it's like I just do it. I don't use a script. I don't use it. I just do it. I speak from my heart. And that's also why I like doing these things in the dark, because I could just be me. I could just be free and just speak. Those people who want to hear free thinkers could hear. And yes, there's tons of videos of people who are in fancy backgrounds, who have great cameras and all that. That's fine too. I love looking at those too. But those of you who just want to hear a voice in the background and someone speaking from their heart, don't we have heart anymore? People want to sell a, a they don't want to sell essence or truth. Everything's artificial. Everything. Artificial. And you know, I'm sick of it. And you know what else? I'm sick of these computers. You have, like, I met somebody, and you know, you have people, these young people out here now, 20 something, teens. Oops, a low battery. Oh, I'm low battery. So I'll try to finish this sentence and go, because it's going to crash. Okay. So, yeah, people don't know how to talk anymore. They use their device, they text everybody, text, because, you know, they don't know how to talk to people. They don't talk. You give them your number, and if it's not a cell phone number, oh, I was going to text you. Okay, I won't text. They don't know how to call. They don't want to speak to another human being on the phone because they're conditioned to just interact with a screen. And it's unnatural for them to actually speak anymore because they're too comfortable behind a screen. Isn't that something? You're meeting someone, you know, a potential mate. They don't want to talk. Oh, let's just text. People, people, you don't realize that you're being programmed, and they're making you into to fit into an artificial machine. They don't want you human anymore. And that's why all this stuff that's happening now with the transgenderism, and you notice how that all this advertisement when you turn on the computer for the alphabet, I call them the alphabet soup people. Yeah, I turn it on, and this big message on the screen. This was my PC. I don't know what my Mac would do. I turn on my PC at home, my desktop, and this boom, this message about the alphabet soup people. And then I had to turn it on again, boom, the same message. And then also when I went outside 2 days ago to do a little jog by myself with my weights, I see a plane, those little single engine planes with that, you know, like when you go to the beach, you have these advertisement with the plane, and they're dragging these letters, and it was about the alphabet soup people. It's a new app for the alphabet soup people. Hello, people, you are being played. You are being played, and it's to get you used to just seeing print, you know, letters behind a screen, and you becoming the app, and you not knowing what you are. It's this transhumanism. It's the next stage. They want to kill off as many people and then have you part of a game. Wake up, people. Wake up. Learn to be human again. Go outside in that garden. Go smell the flower. Go, you know, don't get stuck behind this computer. It's not real. People are real. You are real. Get to know yourself. Okay. So I thank you again for listening. I see I've been on for 106 minutes, it says here, and my batteries are low. So, yes, do you, boo? Rather than following somebody else, follow you. Follow the deep you. What's inside. Tap into your ability. And so, whether you're in jail or prison, do you and be free mentally. I thank you for listening. Peace, love, and joy. Bye bye.